First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
The legalization of marijuana. We started off the program this morning speaking with the Business Council on how business will deal with this, workplaces and that sort of thing. And let's close up with Sheriff Rob Maciol. And how does law enforcement deal with this? Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning. Well, it's going to be different, that's for sure. I've been on the job 31 years, and it's been illegal up until March 31st. So it's going to be teaching, and what is that saying? Teaching an old dog new tricks here. So
it is, and although, and you've even admitted this, the severity of a marijuana crime over the last 10 years has dissipated tremendously.
It has, and I think the one frustrating thing, because obviously I've opposed this from the get-go, I'm not going to get into that, but the one frustrating part is the people who pushed for it, they continuously, told people that there were all these people locked up in correctional facilities all across New York State for marijuana possession. I've been the sheriff 11 years. There's never been anybody in our jail for mere marijuana possession. It's never happened.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen in upstate New York. I certainly can't speak for Rikers Island in New York City, but all the sheriffs, upstate, we stand united. We've never had anybody in our jails for marijuana possession. Don't get me wrong; it could be in on a robbery or burglary, and the marijuana's attached charge attached to that. But never has anyone done time for marijuana possession. It's never happened. It's been a non-custodial arrest my entire career. So
what I don't understand is they've sent out. I guess I'll call it a clarification, but that you can no longer search a vehicle or have probable cause based on the odor of marijuana, which I'm confused about. First of all, do I have that correct?
Well, you do, sort of, a little differently. Effective on March 31st, the smell of marijuana alone no longer establishes probable cause to search a vehicle, okay, except when it's in regards to when it's regards to the belief of the person is driving while impaired. So if the driver appears to be under the influence of marijuana and there is probable cause to believe that the vehicle contains evidence of marijuana, whether it's the smell or maybe some admission of the driver, then a search of the passenger compartment of that vehicle is permissible. However, the trunk can't be searched because it's not directly related to the DWA, the driving while ability impaired. So if someone's driving a vehicle and you smell the odor of marijuana coming from that vehicle, and there is some evidence visible, whether it's a joint or there's some type of admission, then yes, you can advance to that. So that's still, you can't consume marijuana while in a vehicle while it's on a public highway, driver or passengers. So.
And I think we're all...
Or passengers.
Correct.
That's interesting.
Well, yeah, because you can't pop open a beer while your buddy's driving the car.
Open container, yeah.
So under the penal law, it's Section 222, no person can smoke or vape marijuana while inside a vehicle. So no person. It does driver or passenger. No one can. So...
there's the other part of and we've heard from many of them, of the experienced marijuana, the seasoned marijuana smoker. So I guess it becomes like so many other things. Once you do it often enough, the effects are completely different. And they will tell you that you could not tell if someone had recently smoked marijuana or not when dealing with somebody who's a seasoned smoker. Have you guys talked about that?
We have, because that's going to be a challenge. Because obviously, like I said, the easiest way I've detected it my whole career, and obviously I haven't worked the road in quite some time, but my point is the odor was always something that stood out. So now that there's going to be other forms of it too, not just necessarily marijuana. I mean, not necessarily just smoking it. People will be able to, whether we're talking gummies, or whatnot, there's going to be other forms of it, which, you're not going to detect that. And, when you do have a crash and there's some underlying condition, we may or may not be able to link it to marijuana, depending on the circumstances.
Yeah.
It's going to be different. I mean, people 21 and over can now possess 3 ounces or less publicly. They can possess up to 5 pounds of it at their home.
Oh. Really? I did not know that.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. So a person is allowed, over 21 is allowed to possess 3 ounces or 3 ounces or less in a public place. They can possess up to 5 pounds in their residence. And they can possess even more than 5 pounds in their residence if it's prescribed by a doctor. They can also give it to other people. I mean, prior to March 31st, if you gave marijuana to someone under the penal law, that was a sale, whether money exchanged or not. Now you can actually give marijuana to someone over 21, and it's legal as long as there's no money exchanged. And you can also, and here's the part that's going to be a life adjustment for a lot of people, you're going to be able to smoke marijuana almost anywhere that cigarette smoking is allowed, including, sidewalks, certain public places. And again, when we see someone smoking marijuana in a place that they're allowed to, we can no longer approach them or talk to them or stop them because of that. So that's going to be an adjustment for law enforcement.
Yeah, it is it is a bit of a culture shock or culture change. So I guess I wanted to ask you about and you did touch on this, the sale element of it, right? I can have 5 pounds in my house, and I can sell Andrew an ounce, or I can give Andrew an ounce.
Is it 5 pounds per person, per adult, or the house?
Per person.
Oh, my God.
Person.
Wow.
So that's,
you can give it to someone, Jeff. You can't sell it, though. You can't sell it for compensation.
Well, correct, but obviously we would never acknowledge that, or the person would never acknowledge that.
Right.
So I guess my question becomes, does that put a damper on any ongoing investigation into the sale of marijuana? Because you just need the user and the seller to say, no, I just give it to him. I don't sell it to him.
Right.
I just give it to him.
Or I sold him a bottle of champagne and gave him some marijuana along with it.
Right.
Sure. I mean, that's going to be a challenge because immediately after, when the governor signed this, the last day of March there, we immediately had to consult with the DA's office on a few of our investigations that were pending because we had concerns, so we needed to do that. But,
so, and just to be clear here, also, you say some investigations that were pending. You were making the point earlier about people in the marijuana possession or smoking marijuana, not going to jail for that, but you do have investigations that involve the sale of marijuana, or I should say.
And typically it's sale of large quantities. You know what I mean? We're just so overwhelmed with investigations. We never got involved with, someone selling a joint to someone or something else. I mean, we're talking significant sale. Right. You know what I mean? Like drop-offs to someone who then would sell it to people on the street, which is still going to continue. It's probably going to get worse because with the significant sales tax on this, once the dispensaries open in a year and a half from now, there's going to be black market explosion when it comes to marijuana.
So to be clear, the dispensaries it's going to be a good year and a half before that happens. After that, you can grow at home. But I believe the grow already started. Has that already started? So you
no,
can't.
Actually, no, it has not.
I thought the growing came 6 months after the dispensaries.
You're correct because the Office of Cannabis Management has to get formed and underway with policies and procedures, and they will oversee they will be issuing regulations on governing the home growing. So home grow hasn't started yet. Legally.
But the smoking on the street right now, that is in effect right now. Someone could smoke on the sidewalk right now. So you'll begin to start to see that, I believe. Correct. All right, interesting stuff. Yes. We'll see where it all goes, Sheriff. Thank you so much.
Sounds good.
Have a great day,
guys.
Thank you,
Alrighty.
Sheriff Rob Maciol with the Oneida County Sheriff's Department.